So what did you do there though?
Yeah, so I was hired on as a business analyst for their education initiatives department. That's one of those jobs that like you never hear about in high school that it exists, that's out there. But the YMCA Chicago had a lot of community programs where it was ranging from we ran after school care from like 4 to 6 p.m. or
Yep.
maybe it's like 2:30 to 5 p.m. My brain's getting a little fuzzy now, but it was that window between when school's let out and parents are done with work. That's a
Yep.
prime time for a lot of trouble for kids. And we ran an extended after school program across 15 or 20 sites that I started out helping out with that, ended up running that program by the end of my kind of tenure there, as well as one of the interesting ones. So the YMCA Chicago was actually the largest senior care provider in the city. For a moment, they ran a spectacular senior care in-home care program. And that was part of our kind of education initiatives, community initiatives, larger, broader umbrella. But it was 500 some employees, 1,000 plus seniors we took care of, and I think it was one of my earliest kind of HR career moments was recognizing that we had gotten a grant that required us to upgrade our technology, and we weren't able to make that jump. And
Hmm.
the YMCA is not known for senior care. Just the young is
Yep.
in the first letter of the first part there, but it's that sort of moment where from the nonprofit sector, something I appreciated was the YMCA recognized that and said, "Hey, if we take this funding and we upgrade this, we're still not going to do as well as our peers were in the space." So they actually backed out of that funding and gave the funding to another competitor, kind of in air quotes, their competitor
Yeah.
that was doing the service better. So we actually wound down that whole program. So that was Warren Act and some data, and got to see kind of like what happens when we kind of have to take something apart and have to help people transition. And we ended up getting everybody hired with other of those kind of competitors in the space to make sure the employees were taken care of, because some of them had worked with the Y for 20, 30 years in this role. And so it was an early kind of view of this like HR and data and people, and kind of sparked a lot of my interest in the space. But it was again, it was a very strange job. It was being kind of young, early career in nonprofit. I got to raise my hand and do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And for people that aren't sure kind of where you want to go, it's something I always recommend. Like, hey, like you get to try a lot of things, you get to see a lot of things, and if you're ambitious and interested, you'll get to do well above your pay grade what you're paid to do. You can go take on bigger projects, more interesting things, because they need people, they need help, and so I had
Yeah.
a lot of fun there.
Yeah.